structure.
Hi everyone, I'd like to welcome you to our SELF presentation on the Students' Union progress for the South East Technological University project. With me today, my co-presenter is the Welfare Officer in WIT Students' Union. I'll let her introduce herself.
Hello everyone, my name is Lauren, as Tommy said, and I am the Welfare and Equality Officer in WIT, and will be assisting on giving you this wonderful presentation and hopefully to get to know ourselves and the runnings of the Students' Union better.
Perfect. I suppose I should introduce myself as well. My name is Thomas. I am the President of IT Carlow Students' Union. So what I would like to do is I would like to give you just a little bit of background to date as to our journey from when we began the process of amalgamating both students' unions to now. So we have been in numerous Q&A sessions, such as the town hall presentation, which some may remember, where we presented the early versions of our structures to various in-house students and staff for feedback. We have been working very closely with the registrars, and we have undertaken extensive research from various students' unions across the country to kind of form and forge the best possible structure for the SETU students' unions. And then this is where we are today, presenting this model that we have developed for the new TU. Now, Lauren, I'll pass over to you.
Thank you, Tommy. So here we have the Students' Union structure. So as Thomas said, we've been doing a lot of work with implementing for the new TU. So the new structure is to look like having an overarching president who then will have appointed deputy presidents on each campus of Carlow, Wexford and Waterford. So obviously the main counties in which the TU will be based. And then we have the vice presidents who will also be a part of this executive. Underneath them, you have the campus officers. As you can see from our presentation, there is a load of representation come the different campuses on the ground to make sure that we have the best voices of the students, and what's being heard comes right back up to us. Along with that, we will also have a communications manager, graphic designer, and administration staff, because there is a lot of work that does go on in the Students' Union, and having as much support as we can get is vital. And we have seen that throughout our own experience, and would like to make sure that we have it in the TU. So if you want to head on to the next slide.
Yeah, perfect. So just to go into a little bit more detail, I suppose, on the actual Students' Union structure and how it will operate. So we look at utilizing graduate interns, and that's pooling students from our own student body to work in the Students' Union. So we have we're looking for 6 graduate interns, 2 of which will be graphic and communications designers. And then 4 will be administrative staff. 2 will work from the Waterford campus and 2 will work from the Carlow campus. Then if we go into the vice presidents, you can see there that we will have 7. We have adopted a mirrored image so that there will be fixed representation on each campus, and each student are aware of what their campus-based office can provide to them in terms of representation and engagement. So the 3 vice president roles that are mirrored are vice president for education and lifelong learning, vice president for welfare and equality, and vice president for events and engagement. The 7th vice president is a new role to enhance the representation on the Wexford campus, and that is the vice president for the Wexford campus. And we will discuss that in the next slide.
So I'll take over here. So as Tommy said, it is a new role, but it is one that we've identified as being so important to have. Like we said, a student union is to represent all the students that are going to be a part of it. So to miss out on one of our campuses, I think would be a big loss to us. So we identified by having representation in this particular area would mean we'd get a lot more catchment for our students. So this officer would basically be covering aspects of a student life, such as the welfare and equality, the educational and events and engagement. So to be honest, they have quite a lot under their remit, but they would have a smaller cohort compared to the other campuses under the TU. So they'd be the support service on the actual campus, meaning that students could go there on a regular, but always linking in with the main team and just making sure that we constantly have that follow up and being brought back to the executive level. But as I was saying, it is so vital, and I think it'll be an amazing addition to the team.
Thanks, Lauren. They will also play a huge role in being on this new mechanism of operation, which we have developed, which it will be new to any student union in the country, and something that IT, Carlow and WIT Students Union are leading the way in, and that is the development of an executive class representative council. So what this is this is a way for both class rep councils to amalgamate into one through an executive system, where we will pool 4 class reps from the Waterford campus, 4 from the Carlow campus, and 4 from the Wexford campus. It will be chaired by the overarching student union president, and we'll see representation from the education officers on both the Waterford and Carlow campus, as well as the vice president for the Wexford campus. And the role of the Executive Class Representative Council is to determine what mandates, what motions, and what policies are campus specific or are university-wide specific. And it is a way of bringing together and integrating the Students' Union under one executive system. And it is something that we're very much looking forward to implementing in 2022-2023. Now I'll hand over to Lauren to tell you a little bit about the Equality Working Group that we've established.
Thank you very much. Yeah, so the workings of this have gone on a while, and it's very exciting structure to have, because as we said, it is so important and vital in third level education to have coverage over the needs of students. That is our main role. We represent that. So the new structure is the Equality Working Group, and this is to make sure that we have representation on the ground, that we are hearing from the bottom up, and our decisions are based off of actual needs of the students. So to make sure that we are not leaving anybody out, this is to cover the 8 remits that we have identified within our cohort of students, so that they'll meet, and this will be chaired by the welfare officer from Waterford, from Carlow, and the Wexford and Wicklow officer. So these will be the chairs of this committee, and the students will be able to meet these ambassadors. We'll be able to meet with them and let them know what's going on for their students, if there's any issues or if there's policies that they think should be worked on. And it'll be really beneficial, because it means that any of the work that's being done by the officers is relevant and is consistent with what students are looking for, and can be fed back into the institute, which will be really, really important for the longevity of the Students' Union. So that's just a bit of an insight. I get really excited over this. It's a fantastic structure, and I can't wait to see it. But we've worked very hard to get it going, and a lot of student input has gone into the formation of this structure. And I think that's a big thing. So before I get sucked in and keep going on about it, Tommy, I'll hand back over to you for the next slide.
Thanks, Lauren. Okay, so then just to outline some of the benefits of what we've just spoke about. So the Executive Class Rep Council, the Equality Working Group, the new Students' Union structure that we have identified and developed, what is the benefits of that? So it safeguards the student representation on all campuses, and it also maximizes the student representation. And in maximizing the student representation, you also maximize the overall student experience. experience, which is something that we see as critical to the development of the new university, and I suppose the ethos and the mission and vision behind it as well. Hence the development of our TU structure, or Students' Union structure. It also addresses a parity of service in a multi-campus model, because our TU is going to be a heavily multi-campus university, and addressing that challenge, geographical challenge, through these fixed SU offices on each campus to enhance the student representation, through the implementation of a Wexford campus officer, an integrated executive class rep council, and an integrated equality working group, provides that parity of service. And then finally, a fully integrated structure through the Equality Working Group and through the Executive Class Rep Council strikes that balance that this technological university and this technological university Students' Union needs, both campus specific and university wide. So we're really looking forward to see its implementation in the coming months and year as well. So then just to pass over finally back to Lauren to speak a little bit about engagement.
Yeah, I guess, with all the work that we do behind the scenes, Students' Union, they do so much with the Institute and the work that's being done towards the TU. As much we're very excited for it, there are stuff that we do to engage students on the regular. And I think that's just as important as the work that's done behind, because we're here to make sure that you're learning and the students are engaged with what's going on campuses. And, we do that by having different events going on. I think it's very important that we highlight that there's always stuff that we would like to bring to the ground. So as well for our officer, we would do campaigns around mental health, around sexual health. We'd have engaging at the very start of the year, where you'd have welcome to our services, and just a whole load of other bits that would be on the ground for students to partake in. And we really, really, what would you say? We really find that the student engagement is very important to us. So class reps are very a vital part, as you see from our structures. So to get them engaged is a big piece of how we do our work. And these are just photos from some of the campaigns that we've had. We have loads of ways of just getting them involved. And I think that's a point to be highlighted in Students' Union, that we're on the ground, we're behind the scenes, and overall our biggest goal is to make sure students are getting that learning experience outside of the academic part of third level education.
Perfect. Well, look, that wraps up our presentation. We just want to say thanks so much for listening. Any questions you may have, please forward them on. We'll be happy to answer them. And that is a goodbye from me, from ITCSU, and
from me, Lauren, at WITSU.
Thanks very much.